That's it. See, there's a wild lot of that here, you know. I'm finding you get wee bits of land with practically no use, and they got something stuck in it. It must have been a fashion one time down here. Lots of these villages with you. There's nothing here. This is it, like. It would have been better if they even had a skateboard park for the wheels or something. Francis Browne, 1816 to 1879. The blind poet. It's not what you see very often, poet. The blind poet of Austell. And then a wee bit of braille then. A wee plaque. What is the wee plaque over here? That's probably some councillor unveiled this. Well, here we are, Francis Browne. Francis Browne was born close to this site in 1816. She was a daughter of the local postmaster. She developed smallpox when 18 months old, and as a consequence became blind. She was very intelligent, and her early education was gained through listening to her 11 brothers and sisters reading and reciting poetry. It was soon observed by her parents that she was bright with the ability to memorize verses of poetry and recall stories quicker than her sighted brothers and sisters. She is said to have struck deals with her siblings, agreeing to do their household chores so they might read to her. She is believed to have attended school for a time just to listen to the teacher. She wrote her first poem, a version of the Lord's Prayer, when she was 7 years old. She went on to become a novelist, journalist and poet of the highest quality, writing children's books, novels, poems and articles for newspapers. She was known as the blind poet of Ulster. She left many works, including the classic book Granny's Wonderful Chair and the beautiful poem Songs of Irelannd, which was published in Irish school books in the 1930s. She is recognised internationally as Ireland's first writer of fairy tales. There was no fairy tales before the 1930s. Although Frances' works were recognised and widely published during her lifetime, her earnings were meagre and she was never a wealthy woman. In 1844, on the recommendation of Lord Lifford and in recognition of her contribution to literature, Sir Robert Peel, then Prime Minister of England, granted her a small civil pension. Francis Browne left Ireland in 1847 to live and work in Edinburgh. In 1852, she moved to London, during which time she met Isaac Butte. Both had attended the same school in Stranorlar. Isaac Butte, I think it's Butte, B-U-T-T, was known to have loaned books to her. How could she read them? She lived the remainder of her life in London, where she died in 1879. She is buried in Richmond, North London. So how long? We've got the dates mixed up. 1844. So she was pretty old at that time, 1844. So what did I get mixed up on? Oh, I wrote fairy tales. So that means there was no fairy tales before the 1800s. She's the first one. They're saying now, they're claiming that she is the first one to ever write fairy tales. Where did I read that? Must just look at that again. Ireland's. She is recognised internationally as Ireland's first writer of fairy tales. So all the ones that wrote fairy tales, but she's the first one in Ireland. I suppose, like, before the 1800s, you hadn't time to write fairy tales, did you, like? Everybody was killing everybody. Commemorating the original pound built on this site in 1630, and the two notable past inhabitants of Francis Browne, the blind poet, and Isaac Butte. So that's why it's. But water features are always nice. It's nice to get them. So what if that's one of her poems? Songs of Irelannd, ye are with us forever. The power and the splendour of thrones pass away, but yours is the might of some far-flowing river, through summer's bright roses or autumn decay. I never really got poems. Luna, there's a wee maze here, Luna. Where do we maze? Oh, look at this lead sorted out. Oh, I had to keep you on, pet. You'll be over there in seconds. Where's the wee maze? Can you find the wee maze? Can you find your way out? Oh, find your way out now. Find the way out. Can Luna find a way out? What way do you go out now? What way you want to go? I'm not. Well, you want to go that way? You go on ahead. You show me the way out. Oh, there, Luna! Oh, no cheating, no cheating. Come on, find the way out. Oh, she's found food. Come on, find your way out of the maze. Find your way out of the maze. Come on, find our way out. I'm not getting you. Oh, you're the guide, pup. Come on. How do we get out of here? How do we get out of here? That wee hole doesn't exist. Forget about that hole. Right. What way do you want to go out? Somebody's cheated there. Oh, we're blocked again. We're blocked again. Come on, try and find the way out. Can you find your way out? This is meant for what do you call it? Gnomes. This is gnomes come play in this maze. Ah, they're not got it! They're not got it! This must be the other boy now. There's a beaut. You need to pass them by, you know. Yeah, she's got the prime spot. A.J. Beaut was born in Glenfin on the 6th of September 1813. His father, the Reverend Robert Beaut. You notice how all these people always started off in probably homes like? They're never just the corn person's daughter like. Was appointed to St Mary's Church of Ireland, Stranorlar in 1814, and Isaac spent his childhood years in Stranorlar. He had no choice. His mother's maiden name was Beckley Cox, and she claimed descendancy from the O'Donnells. Everybody claims everything, so every American president's related to somebody here, like, even the black ones. When Isaac was aged 12, he went as a boarder to the Royal School, Raphoe. Oh, he was there. And at the age of 15, entered Trinity College, Dublin. He trained as a barrister and became a member of both the Irish Bar and the English Bar. He was a conservative lawyer, but after the famine in 1840 became increasingly liberal. In 1852, he became the Tory MP at Westminster, representing, I don't know how you pronounce that, Youth or something, County Cork. And in 1689, he founded the Tenants' League to renew the demands for tenants' rights. He was a noted orator who spoke fervently for justice, tolerance, compassion and freedom. He always defended the poor and the oppressed. He started the Home Rule movement in 1870, and in 1871 was elected MP for Limerick, running on the Home Rule ticket. By the mid-1870s, Beaut's health was failing, and he was losing control of his party to a section of its members who wished to adopt a much more aggressive approach than he was willing to accept. In 1879, he suffered a stroke from which he failed to recover and died on May the 5th in Clonsky, Dublin. He was replaced by William Shaw, who was then succeeded by Charles Stuart Parnell in 1880. Isaac Beaut became known as the father of Home Rule in Ireland, and his expressed wish is to be buried in the corner of Stranorlar Church of Ireland Cemetery, beneath a tree under which we used to sit and dream as a boy. Church of Ireland Church, I wonder what that is here. Stranorlar Church of Ireland Church, beneath a tree. The tree's long gone. He died in the 18s, before 1900s. That wee tree's long gone. Long gone, that wee tree. A wee bit of walls falling down there. A wee bit of neglect sitting on. A horseshoe. Didn't bring the wall any good luck. I need a wee brush in here now, a wee clean up pet. So that's a soft play area there. That's the soft sponginess you get in parks. What the? Oh look, you see, this is all about here. You see the head over here. Ah, wee easy Grant there. Look, I got a wee Grant to do this. Aye. They don't say what it cost. 2007 to 2013. Ah, these wee boys hand out all these wee Grants. I think there's water next here. Anything else now? I think it's further out, so we'll have to turn back again, wouldn't it? We'll drive back out that way again. We're just leaving the town there. There's a Church of Ireland church. I'll leave Luna in the car for what time I'm going to be in here. Church of Ireland folks don't always like the pups in the graveyard, you know, they're a bit odd. Hold on there, Luna. But there's a wee sign out here. Isaac Butte, 1813-1879, politician, barrister, journalist, philosopher, patriot, founder of the Home Rule movement and one of the most unselfish public men that Ireland has ever seen, New York Times. He wrote, "I wish to be buried in Stranorlar churchyard, as close as may be to the southeastern eastern Angel, angel or angle, eastern, beneath the tree by which I used to sit and dream as a boy. You may visit the grave where his wish was granted." But very heavy gate, cast iron. The tower looks like it's been added on later, doesn't it? It's all powder ash. So I imagine that there was the same as that, you know, but they must have had a wee bit of damp problems inside, covered with pebble dash. Or else, pebble dash is cheaper, eh? Wouldn't it have been pebble dash when they built it? That's been slapped on. Oh, so all these wee red ones must be famous people. Everybody famous was from Donegal. It's in existence since late 1500s. First date so far discovered is 1609 with reference to the church land and all the rest. The gatehouse was built 1812. Where is the gatehouse? The gatehouse here somewhere 1812. Maybe it's gone now. It cost £692. A new bell was erected in 1922. It's not very old, is it? 1922. That tower was built. In memory of the men who served and those who died in the Great War 1914 to 1918. The bell it replaced now stands in the entrance hall of the church and was cast in Paris in 1689. So, a bell or bell tower, it must be the actual bell inside was changed. But the tower looks newer than the church. Different way the stones put together. The modern all is done differently. Different style now. 1999, a pair of 8 bells was installed. They're still modernising it. They came from Holy Trinity Church, Castlereagh, or Passmedowns, County Roscommon. They were cast in 1899. So they got a second-hand set of bells. Anyway, a wee tap. It's always good to know where's a wee tap, you know. Now, I've been to a few chapels. Now, I'm not saying there's a difference between chapels and Church of Ireland, but a few chapel people do not put water in the taps. Turn the taps off. Look how shiny that tap was there. That's been well used there, like. Look at that, boys. If you want water, come to Church of Ireland. Please take your old wreaths, flowers and rubbish home and all the rest. The Church of Ireland have got a wee plan thing in with the council, have they? They always, we had to soccer too, you need to charge your phone up. Right, so where's this tree? The tree's long gone. The tree is long gone, your man's better on if we killed the roots. You'd think they have a wee marker, wouldn't you? I hope they don't expect me to go around and read all these here, like. See, you come out of the tree, that tree wouldn't have been there, like. I'm saying that, see huge trees. Huge trees, I think, is that a huge tree? What is that? As far as I know, these old trees and graveyards can live to over 1,000 years old. So that's again wee trees you get in the country states there. So maybe that it could be on the wild trees there. That's already, I don't know. Maybe that's why they use them in graveyards. I didn't know a tree could be over 1,000 years old, but they can, in Ireland. They can be over 1,000 years old. I don't know, I can't read all them there. Can I put a wee white sign pointing to the man? There's a wee, that must be the clergyman's house up that big avenue there. He's got his own wee gate then. The path comes to an end there. Where's all the touristy people going? I give up. I can't read all them headstones. There's a headstone underneath that tree there, but that can't. It's too modern. It's marble. Has to be When did he die? It has to be stoned, doesn't it? Take a walk. I don't like walking over people's graves. I don't have to, like. Because I always feel bad for stepping on graves belonging to poor people and not the rich. You know, I don't think it's right. It's just because they're poor and they haven't got a headstone. Walk over theirs and don't care. And yet somebody they got there, you don't walk in theirs. We number of things is handy, isn't it? And you go by your sign there. They've got a sign as you come in. Look, a sign as you come in. Where's your man's grave on it? See, I didn't read it. I hadn't the patience. There was too many wee red squares. But it might be quicker reading the sign because there's numbers there. I don't know if that's a new church hall they're getting. A wee bit of money still in this church yet. Isaac Brute 273. Oh, jeez, I should have just read that, shouldn't I? Like 273. Where's 273? It's like bingo, isn't it? Not saying how about rows or nothing there. 273, got row 21 on it there. Do you think it wouldn't be hard like this? 206. 206, we're getting close, 223, 263, 270. Hey, he hasn't got a red box. That's why I couldn't find him. The end of the path. 273, Isaac Brute, son of Reverend, all the rest. These are whole pile of famous people. Henry Forbes, manager of County Donegal Railway, 1916-1943. Crawford family. Who the Crawfords were? They're probably known. Drumbo Castle, look. Sir Samuel something. 1807, 1860, 145. Where's he? 145. He'll be a big one, like. 145, look, he's close to the church there, like. So, far side of the church, 145. Drumbo Castle, and 349. See, they're way far apart, they must have fell out. Where's 349? Way over there, because they fell, that's the same family, and they fell out, didn't they? They might be buried close to each other, anyway. Child's grave. See, they say scratched by a cat. That's because there's no antibiotics. It wasn't uncommon to die with a scratch of a cat, or you scratch yourself, you just cut yourself anyway. There's no antibiotics. So anytime anybody goes to the doctor today, and the doctor says, oh, you need to be antibiotic for that, they could have died before antibiotics. And that's why they want people misusing antibiotics, because they're going to die again. Yeah, the cholera outbreak, 263. I'm not going to remember all these numbers here. They need to give you a tourist guide, so they would. Lieutenant William McTorsh had His Majesty's Knights of Windsor, 1856. Interesting coat of arms. Touch not the cat, but with a glove. There you go. He knew about Daddy before that Wayne touched the cat. Look at that. See the thing about cats here. Bearing in mind the Christians used to think cats were witches, like. I think there's a bit of that going on here. Funny that there, like. I wonder if they check the dates to them. 74A. I'm not going to remember these numbers here. 74A, where's 74A? You think they would have buried these famous people around here so we hadn't to walk so far, like? 74A, 74A. I give up. 16, 30, 50, 70, 74A. Oh, he's handy. So we can do that. Not walking away over there. We'll just do these ones here, like, I don't know. They're not going to be marked red when we go around. I'm going to forget. I'm no good with names, like. So waste my time here, like. I need to put it. I went to a wee graveyard somewhere, County Donegal before, like. I was all these signs pointing. It was dead handy, like. I'm making it, even looking at the back of the graves here, it's going to make it harder. I need to put wee markers on. I think that must be the Waynes, because why else has it got to be surrounded? It's made special, isn't it? But like, think about a wee Wayne's grave. Why would the parents not bury in the Wayne's grave? If you had a Wayne, you wouldn't want to be buried in another grave, would you? And the parents could be in there, but parents aren't a tourist attraction. I'm making a wee Wayne's grave, like. Get more tourists. See that one there, they put the thing on the side as well, because the new tourists like maybe coming along, they thought well ahead. So that must be about in the castle there, that big one. But I've forgotten now, where's your man Butte buried? Ah. You need to come a day just to see this here, you would. You need a day just to read. You as well just go up and down, take a photograph and then walk around like. James Reid. That doesn't sound like Butte, does it? Bear in mind there's a tree here. Would you want a tree that close to the... I think that's your state, the man that owned the castle. All the wee numbers tossed in there. Look at that, boys. Why are they tossed in there? How you boys got fed up cutting the grass and cutting around them? You pucked them, turn them all out. You think that'd be something to do with the castle there? That big one, wouldn't you? They're just normal graves underneath. I used to think the coffins are in it, they're not. It's just a normal grave underneath. That's just to make sure body snatchers don't come along. Or ordinary people come to bury other people in the same place. (1883). But you think of a church going back to 1600s and 1500s, them graves have all been used before. They're all second hand. That's him there. So that's the boy who owned the castle. You always find these people who own the castles were always MPs. People in Parliament never got no wages back in them days, although I was told later they never got wages but they got expenses, and we all know about MPs' expenses today with duck ponds and all that. So they technically didn't get no wages. You did it for king and country probably, like, but you didn't do it for wages. But that just meant that only the rich people. It's the same way Bush never took no wages, and because somebody takes no wages doesn't mean that's a good thing. You'd rather pay somebody who doesn't lead you into a war like than somebody like Bush. And that's what the argument is. People say, well, MPs get paid too much. The reason why we've got so many useless MPs, people are not paying them enough. So the people with the real talent aren't coming forward for the job. So you end up with ones making a mess. That's unusual there. It's like a wee bird bath. Could have had, oh, that's the crest, that's the one with the crest. What was the crest of? What was the crest? The crest, is that the one? I can't mind now. It says about the crest on the thing. But they haven't done nothing about drainage, have they? No wonder the frost hasn't broke it all. Oh, that's your lieutenant. He's the one that says the verse about having gloves on with cats. That's him. So obviously that wee girl over there, she got scratched by a cat. So it could be the wee girl died before him, and that's why he came out with us. Because these people with money, you always think they come out with smart comments. They're probably taken from somebody else. They weren't any more intelligent than anybody else. They just had money. At the end of the day, the castle's a ruin. So something went wrong somewhere. And then again, I don't know why the castle is a ruin. Some of these big houses did actually help ones in the famine and went bankrupt. Don't know if they were one of them ones or not. So there we have. Don't know where you end up. But if you're coming down here, you're going to have to take a wee photograph of that there. Bring a tablet with you. Bring a 10-inch tablet. Take a photograph of that and then walk around like. But how many they got down there? Like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. 20. That's only a wee town like. They haven't got 20 shops. How can there be so many famous people? That must be the door in there. It's a funny door be this thing, isn't it? The bell tower. Ah, wee door in there. That's a wee shortcut there. That's the ones going there for choir practice. They go in the wee door. Have a wee smoke outside in the out of the wind, like. Nobody sees them. Back in the days, they used to smoke. They couldn't afford the fags today. The door's funny there, isn't it? Like, supposing they built that, this has all been on clay road. There you have it now. So that must be a new church hall or something there. Sounds a play group and all that. I don't know. School office, school in there.